Friday the 28th of August 2020. I woke up at 8:30 a.m. I didn't sleep very well the night before because I think I was just having nightmares. So I was a bit stressed about the day coming up, I guess. Basically, I got a tattoo yesterday on the 28th, and it was kind of a last minute situation. I'd been wanting to get a tattoo by this artist for a while, but like his books are full until next year. But then I was put on the cancellation list, and then I was asked if I could go a couple of times, and I couldn't. And then this time around I was like, yeah, I can do it. So I just went. It was a great experience. So yeah, the tattoo appointment was at 10 a.m, which meant that I had to get up quite early to make sure I've got enough time to eat. And also the studio is quite far from me, like it's in London, but it was like on the other side of London. I got a taxi there. But yeah, so surprisingly I wasn't too tired when I woke up, because somehow my sleeping pattern is improving. Hopefully it will stay that way. Normally it just goes back to normal, my normal being awful. But yeah, it was fine. I got there. Obviously my mom doesn't know that I got the tattoo, so living with her, I couldn't really tell her. I didn't want her to know, because not because she would disapprove. I mean, she's not the biggest fan of them, but I think mainly because she stresses out over them, because she's scared that it's gonna like get infected or something. So I'd rather just keep them a secret, I guess, until they're healed, and then I can just show them to her and be like, it's all fine, I got this like a month ago or 2 months ago, but look, it's all fine, you don't need to worry anymore, like it's fine, because the kind of extreme stage of it is over. So yeah, so that was a bit stressful, because I couldn't, like, ideally I would have liked to have ordered myself a McDonald's breakfast to have in the house before I left, but then I was like, if I do that, it would just be too obvious that I'm going out to get a tattoo done, or like, I felt like just the fact that I was leaving the house so early was a bit dodgy, and I didn't want my mum to ask me any questions as to where I'm going and stuff, because I can't lie. I literally cannot lie, and I hate lying. So if she'd asked, I probably would have had to say it, if she'd like asked specifically. So yeah, I kind of hope that she would assume that I'm going out to get something to eat outside, or meeting up with someone for brunch or something. Anyway, my life. Whoa, I just realized she might watch this. That's so funny. But I'm so behind on these vlogs that this probably won't go up until like next month, so it's all fine. 28th, literally, I think the last video I've got uploaded on my channel right now is the 8th of August, and I'm talking about the 28th of August right now, so that was 20 days ago. August has flown by, to be fair. I feel like it's really gone quickly. Lord have all the mercy. Anyway, yeah, the experience was lovely. Because I guess it was a cancellation, even though my appointment was at 10, I was a little bit late myself. To be fair, I got there about 10 past 10, but like they said that if you're like only about 15 minutes late, that's fine. If you're half an hour late, let us know. Like, it was fine on my behalf. I still let them know anyway. Like, once I knew I was gonna be 10 minutes late, I did email to say I was gonna be late. The guy was lovely, the artist Danny, but he hadn't drawn the design yet, even though he knew what it was. Maybe it's because he wanted to double check with me, I don't know, because I booked it through his assistant, so I hadn't really spoken to him directly. Maybe that was why. It could be because it was a cancellation, maybe that's why he wasn't prepared. But in any case, obviously he introduced himself, we had a little chat, and then he was like, okay, like once he knew exactly where I wanted it and what I wanted it to be and everything, I even showed him a picture of one of his other works, so like he could get an idea of what I wanted, which was, I think, really good. He appreciated that. And yeah, and then he was like, okay, I'm just gonna go and draw the design up, but it's probably gonna take me about 20 minutes. And I was like, yeah, that's fine. So yeah, this was at about 10:15 that he said that, 10:15. And then I was like, yeah, that's fine, I can wait 20 minutes. And then he was gone for definitely longer than 20 minutes. And it was fine, like I didn't really mind, but I think more than anything I was just worried. This is why it sucks a bit when you can't be open about everything in your household, because I didn't want to be out for too long for it to then become like a suspicious thing. Like, I didn't want people, my mom, to be like, well, she's gone for a long time. And I think in my head I'd kind of given myself 3 hours max. I thought at a push 3.5 hours. So I'd left the house at 9:30. I thought 10:30, 11:30. I thought I'd be home by like 1:30 at the latest. So I just knew that obviously the fact that it's taking long, you know, it's just gonna push everything back. And I also had to go to my dad's office to collect something as well, and I wanted to make sure I get there before 2:30 anyway. Under normal circumstances that we've been okay with, but because of the situation that I'm in, my weird situation, I was a bit stressed about waiting too long. He didn't get back to me until about 5 minutes past 11, so about 45 minutes it took him to draw the design, which again I was fine with, because I'd rather he does the best job possible and like draw something that he's absolutely happy with rather than just draw something quickly, you know what I mean? So that's fair enough. Yeah, he came to show it to me, see if I liked it, get my thoughts, fell in love with the design straight away. He didn't need to change anything. Like I literally was like, this is it, I love it. And then he was like, okay, like I'm just gonna go and put it on the like do the stencil now, so I'll be, you know, I'll see you in a bit. So he went back again, and I was just sat there in the reception, and it took another maybe like half an hour or so for him, 25 minutes at least, to do the stencil. So even though my appointment was at 10, I didn't actually start physically getting tattooed until about 11:50, 11:45. So that's like an hour and 45 minutes later, which was a bit annoying, because like I said, just because it meant that everything got pushed back. And then I did the thing that I've never done before. I literally had to ask him. I was like, just wondering, how long do you think this is going to take? Just because I was worried about my mother. Lordy, what a life. Like I didn't want her to, like I just feel like I need to tell her when I'm going to be back and stuff. And she was, the artist was like, Danny, he was like, to be fair, I never know, like, because when I'm in the mood, when I'm in the zone of tattooing, I never like pay attention to time, so I'm never aware of time, so I can't really tell you, but I would imagine about 2 hours. And I was like, no, that's fair, like, don't worry, don't you worry, just was wondering in case. And to be fair to him, it took just over 2 hours, I think. He started at 11:45. I was done by, or maybe it was more like 3 hours. I left at 1:45. No, I left at 2:45. When did I leave? He started at 11:45. I think it took exactly 2 hours. No, that's actually spot on. I'll have to look at the pictures later, but pretty sure it took exactly 2 hours, or maybe just over 2 hours. But yeah, it was all fine. The process was fine. He was very professional. He was the kind of tattoo artist who wanted to just, like, he was so lovely. We chatted quite a bit before the journey, but once he was doing it, he just focused on the artwork, and I just listened to music. Like, I listened to an audiobook, so if you hear noises outside, but I actually prefer that. I'm not gonna lie, I prefer, maybe I'm a bit of an introvert sometimes. I think I'm in between in terms of introvert and extrovert. But yeah, when I'm getting tattooed, same as if I'm like getting my hair done or something, if I'm getting a service done, I prefer to like not talk to the person. I just want to just listen to music, listen to an audiobook, read a book, and have them do their thing. But a lot of the times people want to talk to you. It's the same if I'm in a taxi or like an Uber or something. I prefer not talking to people, but sometimes you get someone who just wants to chat along and you have to talk to them. And don't get me wrong, sometimes it can be great, and you know, if I'm in the mood I can have some great conversations with people, but generally speaking I'd rather not. So that suited me fine. The only annoying thing was that my phone, I think because I'd waited for so long, I mean, to be fair, I'd only really waited for like an hour and 45 minutes, but my battery on my iPhone is just awful. I think something was wrong for some reason yesterday. It was just heating up more than usual, and like the battery was just going down and down really quickly. So like as I was getting tattooed, I think my battery, I had about 40% or 45% to start with by the time he started on me, on my leg, and like I don't know, halfway through it had gone down to 30%, and I was like, within about literally an hour it had gone down 10%. And I wasn't doing anything on it really. I was just listening to my audiobook and maybe scrolling a little bit on like Instagram. But like I panicked, so every now and again I would just stop the audiobook and like not listen to anything and just like put my phone on airplane mode for like 10 minutes or so to kind of try and save a little bit of battery, because I wanted to make sure I've got enough battery to, I had to go to my dad's office later basically to collect something. So it was just all a bit of a situation. Oh, sorry, just got a little notification on my phone. But that was yesterday, to be honest. Like, it was all fine. I got myself, I did go to my dad's office as well. It was weird to go there considering he wasn't there to collect something, but yeah, it was all fine. And I got home at about 3, or just 3:15, maybe just after 3, I want to say. On my way back, I got myself a wasabi, which is something that I'd wanted for ages. Oh, Lord have mercy, I've just realised how bad this looked. A wasabi chicken katsu curry, my first one since before lockdown. I think I prefer wasabi chicken katsu curry to Wagamama's, not gonna lie, but yeah, it was nice. I'm really glad I managed to get that, because the wasabi next to me, or near me, the closest wasabi to us, closes at 4 o'clock these days. It used to be open until about 9 p.m, but you know, in COVID times they close at 4. So yeah, it was lovely. I'm glad I managed to get it. It was a nice post-tattoo treat. Also had a croissant. I got myself a croissant basically, because you have to, they tell you have to eat before you get tattooed, otherwise it can be dangerous, you might faint, whatever. So obviously I couldn't get anything, I couldn't get my McDonald's delivery, so, or Uber Eats, so I just got myself a croissant from what's the place I'm looking for, from Pret, and just ate it outside in the rain before getting a cab to the studio. But yeah, that was yesterday, and I fell asleep at around 2 a.m, 3 a.m, so doing pretty well with my sleeping pattern. I really hope I continue with it. Like, I'm obviously filming this on Saturday the 29th. I woke up today at 10 p.m. 10 p.m, can you imagine? I woke up this morning at 10 a.m, and I was ready for the day. And I think if I can continue like this, life will be fantastic. I can maybe turn into a normal human being in terms of my sleeping pattern finally. But let's not jinx it yet. I'll see you tomorrow.